I was always a girl behind the camera in my family. I have newborn baby sessions, I have maternity sessions. The first priority is given to the safety of the baby. Personal branding is something, a new genre which has started now. So it's a kind of an lifelong learning process that we are in, right? So
Hi friends, today we are here with another inspiring story of an Indian entrepreneur who has ventured into multiple businesses in Netherlands. Even though she is a multifaceted personality, she always wants to be known as the people's favorite photographer. So we have with us Miss Asha, the founder of Asha Pradeep Photography. She predominantly offers photography services for maternity, newborn and family portraits. She started as a photographer in 2015 and she already has more than 500 photo sessions to her portfolio. In addition to that, she also offers mentorship in the areas of photography, business marketing and women entrepreneurship. So let's listen to her talking more about her passion turned into profession. Hi Asha, thank you for joining us today. So how did you get into photography and how did you figure out that this is your passion?
thank you, Janani, coming to my studio today. I'm very happy to meet you. I started off my photography journey right from my childhood, I believe, because I was always a girl behind the camera in my family. So when I came into Netherlands in 2009, I actually got a gift from my husband, a DSLR, and started learning my photography from there. I went into a lot of courses, then found out a genre which is very close to my heart, which is kids and family. I found out that there are quite a few beautiful photographers who are doing this in US. So I went there for the Bay Area to get myself trained. And also did in a couple of countries just before I started my company.
So what kind of photo sessions do you offer?
I have newborn baby sessions, I have maternity sessions, milestone sessions we call it, and of course the branding, the personal branding sessions are also included into my portfolio. In fact, I was the first Indian photographer to offer these kind of services in Netherlands when I started in 2015.
So Asha, when we are talking about newborn photography, it's quite challenging because getting a baby to pose and getting them to do what we want in the frame, it's quite challenging, right? Because we also had Aryan's newborn photo shoot recently and we kind of understood how much patience it takes. So how do you get this babies to pose for your photographs?
As a professional photographers, we suggest the parents to do the newborn baby photography within the 5 to 15 days of the baby born. So at that moment, the babies are still not able to understand the environment and their bones are still softer. They want to be cuddled more. So that's a great time for the photography as such. And what I do is I also offer the studio environment in such a way that it is more healthy and happy for the newborn baby. It's a combined effort between the parents and myself. I do send out a preparation guide before the session starts so they can read through it, prepare it the day before, what they have to pack for the session. During the session, what they have to bring, the kind of stuff that they need for the session, how much is the sleep important before they come in, and all that information goes into that preparation, right? So when they are here, I ensure that the environment is quite warm. The wraps that I use also is from the newborn baby vendors who understands that the skin of the baby is so sensitive that we don't want to use any sort of stuff which is irritated. Of course, for the lighting purpose, I use the studio light, which is very soft and it is indirect, so it does not hurt the baby in any way. As a trained newborn baby photographer, the first priority is given to the safety of the baby. We cannot really go ahead and take any chances in terms of the poses. So that is the utmost care that I take during the session.
Say for example, somebody doesn't find time to do this baby photography within that 15 days. So how can they do it after 15 days? Is it a hard rule that you have to do it within 15 days?
I do get a lot of parents who have missed that time range to book the slot, right? So of course we say it is within 15 days. It is easier as a photographer because we can put the baby in a certain pose and the small props that we have. The reason is that the bones of the baby will be a little softer in that stage. So then we can also wrap the baby really well in a way that the parents would like to see the photos. But it does not stop us from doing the session after 15 days as well. Up to 2 months I have done the newborn baby sessions.
Okay.
So it's always better that the parents book the appointments up front. We say around 4 months when you have your pregnancy reports done, it's a good time to book the slot with us.
Yeah, actually newborn shoots are very challenging, but on the same time the maternity sessions are quite interesting, especially the expecting moms. They are more excited about the maternity sessions, right? How do you plan the maternity sessions, and can you tell us more about that?
Maternity sessions are basically done between 32 to 37 weeks. The reason is that after 30 weeks, the baby's head comes down the belly and the belly looks really round and beautiful. So that's what we want to capture during the sessions. I do offer moms to be with the full wardrobe of designer dresses, so they can use it as part of the package. They when they come in, I also do offer them hair and the makeup. The reason is that these are like timeless memories that they want to capture and they want to look their best. She gets ready so beautifully, and I help her with all the poses, what she has to do during the session. So that makes it like of a wonderful experience for the parents to remember forever.
So in that case, do you only offer indoor shoots or you also offer outdoors?
I do offer both. I do prefer to do the sessions in the indoor. The reason is that the environment is in control of me. You know the Dutch weather, how unpredictable it is. I cannot do the outdoor sessions throughout the year. So when we do outdoor, it is also a beautiful park outside, and we do little bit sessions in the outdoor as well.
I also saw that you are offering some milestone sessions. So what are baby milestone sessions?
The babies between 3 months to 11 months or 12 months is considered to be a milestone sessions. When the baby starts crawling, that's the first milestone that we say. It can be 3 to 4 months, that moment when the baby starts turning over on the tummy, raising his or her head, and starts to smile. That's a beautiful moment that you can start the sessions there. And also when the baby starts to able to sit down by herself or himself, that's also a great moment. I put the baby into the baskets, buckets, in those kind of props. They look really beautiful. I do offer based on different themes that will be very interesting for the parents. For example, cook setup I can make a farm setup, I can do a lot of other details that makes it more interesting for the parents to make this.
So you were also talking a lot about personal branding shoots that you offer. So can you explain a little bit more about that?
Personal branding is something, a new genre which has started now. These are basically the photos that I do for the professionals, the budding professionals who are coming into the market. The activities that they do in their business, I try to capture it so that they can use it in the social media or the website or where they want to promote themselves. For example, a cook who wants to showcase his or her work, I do show photos or take photos of him doing cooking or his passion and things like that. As a second wing to that part, I do offer the LinkedIn photos to be taken because it's one of the most important part as of today. In addition to that, I also work with the companies to get the photos of their employees done in a certain professional way.
Now that we already have all these fancy high-end cameras even in mobiles, why do we really need to hire a photographer?
Yeah, I think it is a good question because everybody has a phone in their hands now. Of course, it can be in a threefold answer, I would say. The equipments that I use are quite high-end, and also it has an image processing capacity are quite high. The lenses that I use are 24-70, macro lens 105. I have a 50 mm which I use for the newborns, which means that I can really shoot the baby with a wide aperture. Gives the parents with that creamy background look. I feel it is most important important because you're looking at a photo not only from the perspective of where the baby is, but also the surroundings, makes the photo really beautiful. That's one part of the answer. The second part is, of course, the experience of the photographer. You can still use a phone, I would say, for that. But if you look at the kind of experience that you get out of your DSLR, you know how immediately you can change based on the lighting and on the conditions of a scenario. The third part, I would say, is also the lighting which I use in the studio, because they are also again professionally built photo flashes, which also makes the photo more professional. In addition to that, editing is one of the crucial points, I believe, because in the phones we have the basic editing options which we can use. I would say, in compared to what I use is the Adobe's Lightroom and the Photoshop, which has a wide variety of options for me to create that kind of photos that I would like to.
So looking at your customer base, do you have Indian clients predominantly, or do you also have international clients?
It's basically 95% are expats from India and from other countries. The very little percentage comes from the Dutch market, to be honest. Of course, these days I do get a lot of inquiries from Instagram, Facebook, where I'm very active. In addition to the social media, I do have a website where I have great reviews from my existing clients, so that's also acts like a basis for my new clients to come to me.
So off late we tend to see a lot of people passionate about photography and wanting to turn it into a business. In that case, what is your unique selling point and how are you differentiated from the rest of the people?
Yeah, Janani, basically if you look at a photo, it's not just a technical, or you're not looking at the photo itself, right? Your brain takes you back into that time and the memory that you have associated with that photo. So I think the experience is the utmost important part of my business. When the parents come in, where I also invite to bring the grandparents, because normally the Indian families here also have the grandparents during the birth, so they come in with the grandparents, and also I include the siblings in the photo session, so it makes it like a family event. It makes it more memorable than just creating a photo.
So if somebody wants to start up as a photographer and run it as a business, what would be your advice to them?
So generally I would say that they need to be, first of all, well trained in not only in photography, but if they want to become a newborn baby photographer, they need to understand that the safety of the baby is utmost, so they have to professionally get trained for it. So do not do any photography of the newborns without a proper professional training. Also urge for the parents that if you are giving your newborns to any photographer, please ask the question, have that person been trained really well? So that's the most important part. The second part is, of course, as a mentor, that I also try to talk to the new budding photographers, try to give my lessons that I've learned in a hard way, so that they can achieve the process much earlier than me. They do reach out to me on the social media and other places that I can talk to them, share my viewpoints, and also learn from them, basically. So it's a kind of an lifelong learning process that we are in, right? So if I have to sum it up, it is in these 3 P's which I really believe in. One is the patience that you really need, because newborns are really taking a lot of time and patience that when you're doing the photography. Second one is your passion. You really need to know that this is going to continue for a long time. So if then you're going to invest in your equipments, invest in the props that you're going to do this. Then the third one is the persistence, that you really have to continue to do, put in your learnings, put in your lessons that you have done to also improve not only yourself but the surrounding people. So that's the most important points that I can give it to a new budding photographer.
Thank you so much, Asha, for taking your time and sharing so much interesting insights about photography, about your experiences, your portfolio, and all your offerings. And I wish you a lot of success in your future projects.
Thank you so much, Janani. It was great talking to you. Thank you again. Yeah, thanks for coming all the way.